Hello and welcome to the Brunton Report. We are here in Gent in Belgium, visiting Kongsberg Precision Cutting Systems. Here to talk with David Preskett, looking at the new Ultimate. We are here in Gent, in the west of Belgium. Some of those in the industry would know this as the graphic arts triangle. Joined today by David Preskett. David, good to see you.
Hi Dan, good to see you.
So, the Ultimate, launched at the end of November. A machine specifically for corrugated, material corrugated, for packaging and for displays. Tell us a little bit about the open house and how that initial reaction from the customers, what's the feedback been?
Yeah, so we had an open house at the end of November here in our showrooms in Gent. Really good reaction, really positive. Users like the productivity, the user experience that it gives with all the new safety systems, which we'll talk about. Really impressed with the way that it's designed to be sustainable. And we've had really positive reactions in terms of a couple of orders have come in, or 2 or 3 orders.
No, well, that's fantastic. Obviously, any new product, it's always important getting those first couple on the ground. If you look at the heritage of Kongsberg, obviously very well known for producing digital cutting machines for sample making and for POS and displays. Tell us a little bit about the Ultimate. Where's it come from? Because this really is a packaging machine, right?
Correct. It's designed specifically for corrugated converters. It's built on Kongsberg heritage. We've been in the packaging industry for 30 odd years. Got users with machines that were built 30 years ago and they're still running. So our expertise and experience is there. What this is doing is taking that expertise and experience and applying brand new technology in the terms of motor drives and laser scanners and other things that brings it into really fast productivity for corrugated converters. It has features on it that I'd specifically designed for their applications and their jobs. For example, there's 4 tools on the tool head. That's the first time we've done that on one of our machines, but it means that in a typical corrugated converting packaging environment, you don't need to stop the machine to change tools. They're all on the head. And that's the kind of thing we've looked at the voice of the customer to say, what do you need? And we then built the machine around that.
And can you go into a bit of detail? You're talking about 4 tools into the system.
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Basically productivity, and ease of use. But if you've got a job that requires all 4 tools, you don't have to stop. It will just keep going. And if you've automated the system with no operation, then that's perfect. It will just keep going with 4 tools and switch as it requires. So a crease wheel, a perf, a static knife and an oscillating knife will do, as I said, almost all of the jobs that a corrugated converter would be doing.
And when we look at corrugated, it can be from anything from microflute up to triple wall board. So when you were developing the system, because this has been designed from the ground up, this isn't just a bastardization of an old machine, this is brand new technology.
Brand new.
How important was that range of material, size and substrate?
Yeah, we looked at it all. We looked at what our typical customers were doing. R&D looked at, took 43 jobs from various customers and what do they look like? What's the digital designs? What kind of board are they on? And then tested. And we then looked at, okay, how do we build a machine to handle that? Specifically, a good example is the traverse height of our beam is lowered.
Right.
Why have we lowered that traverse height? Well, we're now matching what typical board on the market the thickness is. We can take all the board. But we've done it to get more precision in the job because there's less deflection of the tools as the beam is moving very fast. So we've looked at what the users are using and built the machine around that.
And you mentioned the beam.
Yeah.
So the beam really is at the heart of this machine.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, the background to that development.
So the beam is a carbon fiber beam. It's brand new in the way we've manufactured it. It's one single filament of carbon that is woven in specific ways to give us an extremely stiff but also long beam, because it's going across the width of an entire table. What it is allowing us to do is have an extremely high acceleration of 2.7 G, which produces a lot of force in the beam as it's moving, but it's also allowing us to be extremely precise with the tools going up and down and putting 500 newtons of pressure on the corrugated media to give the crease. That beam stiffness is there to give the speed, the precision, and the quality of the finish. And it's at the heart of our system.
And when you look at the ultimate, you're talking about a machine that is ideal for corrugated board. Is it fair to say this is the bigger of your machines within the Kongsberg range, in that you can scale up to much wider, and therefore the beam, it's really important that that is stable under, irrespective of width?
Absolutely. So the beam, the carbon fibre beam, is on the wider machines because you need the strength across the width. There are other machines with aluminium beams on them, equally looking at stiffness, but that carbon beam is on the wide machines. It is there because of the speed and the productivity the users want. The beam will move, it cuts at 168 meters per minute. It's going fast, and the acceleration is putting a lot of force through the beam. So that technology we developed, it's ours, and it is in complement with other technologies like the drive systems, which we've, for the first time in the industry, used a unique drive system to make this work efficiently.
Now, one of the key aspects to the stability and the rigidity of this machine is the materials that you've used to actually create the beds and the side frames. Tell us a little bit about the research and development that's gone into that, because I saw a video where you drove a car over a piece of the table and nothing happened. Tell us about that development.
So Kongsberg make their tabletops from a honeycomb aluminium structure, and it is incredibly strong. It's based on aerospace technology, and we actually put a video out where we put one on the ground at our manufacturing facility, drove a car over the top of it, no distortion. That's how strong they are. The frame is still designed with a certain specification and design so that the table does not twist or move under the load and the speed it's going at. That is Kongsberg heritage built in already, because a lot of our tables in the past have all had that, and that we've still, as I said, we've still got tables out there running 30 years later, and they're renowned for their strength and their robustness. In terms of also the table design, we built sustainability in it. So the side covers are recycled aluminium. We've taken hybrid materials out that are difficult to recycle. And the fact that the tables last so long, we think that's a really core part of sustainability, because it will get second or third life. It will last a lot longer. You don't need to buy another table. Key for sustainability.
And you've also got the added advantage of the energy capture. So again, part of the sustainability and what that means for Kongsberg.
Exactly. Thank you for that, because actually for years and years we've put energy recovery in our tables. As you brake, you restore some of the energy, we store it, and then as we accelerate again, we use that energy. It basically is recycling energy. Like car systems do, electric cars do it all the time now, but we've been doing it for so many years, but now people realize what it really is doing, but that is inside the ultimate machine as well.
One of the key features, automation. You've now got a system here which can handle high volumes at high speed. Obviously developed very much with the digital printing, screen printing, litho-laminating part of the market. But automation is critical. Tell us about the automation systems and how it helps get maximum throughput.
So as we launched the product, automation is the key that many customers are looking for. They want a reliable reliable production, and automation gives them that. We are progressing some customers from what we call standard automation, which is board feeders in and out. So it will just load a board on, cut. While it's cutting one, it will be like preloading the second one, and then it will offload, and it's just continuous production. More and more customers now are talking to us about robotics, where you have a machine handling system with one table to start with quite often, and the robot is loading media on, it's cut, and it's unloading at the other end of the table because of dual zone production at the same time effectively. And our single beam technology allows that to happen very easily. Then what a lot of customers are doing is they'll take one table, they'll put a robot in, and without needing to change the first table, you can add a second.
Yeah.
And that gives you a kind of a sustainable growth for investment, an increase of production capacity. And it means that actually the fastest systems will have a robot in the middle with two tables with one table either side.
And of course, one of the big issues the industry is facing globally, skills shortage, labour shortage. This is a great solution where a robot is feeding two machines. I'm assuming can be operated by one operator.
Correct. So with a robot system, you load in the pallets into a cell. It takes the media, loads them on, and then you just have pallets stack out, and you just have pallets going in and out. So it's one operator.
And tell us about some of the other functionality. When you were designing the machine, it was very interesting looking at the user interface. It's very user-friendly, it's touchscreen. Tell us about the importance of that.
I think it's a bit like you said, one operator. With the user interface, you want one screen that's easy to use, doesn't require a lot of training because different operators might be operating the table, or sometimes you've got a churn of staff. So we've built in touchscreen, icons, really simple graphics interface on one screen. That's it, that operates the whole system. We also put user experience at the heart of the design. So for example, we've put buttons on the end of the beam so that if you're resetting the machine for any reason, you're one side or the other, you don't need to walk round. User experience is also things like if it detects an issue, it will email the user or send them a message. So you don't need to be near the machine all the time. The other thing we've done with user experience, which we think is critical, and most of our customers have it on top of their list, safety. Safety is an absolute priority. We've put a brand new safety system on with laser scanners, which look for people in the environment.
So proximity.
Proximity sensors. And as you get closer, it slows down. If you get too close, it stops. But what it allows you to do is run the machine and be near the machine and inspect the work while it's running. There's no cages around the machine. If it's in a board feeder configuration, you can get up close and see what's going on.
Let's move our attention. You've got a very busy year ahead. We've got FESPA coming up. We've got Drupa in about 10 or 12 weeks. Tell us about some of the focuses that the audience are going to be able to come and see you and discuss.
Sustainability. We'll be talking about that a lot because of the technology we built in our machines, and we see that more and more in the industry. Our customers moving more to corrugated as a material of choice for displays, for example, in retail. So that will be an element that we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about automation. And at Drupa, we'll have automated systems to show people how they can increase their productivity and show the machines at their maximum throughput. And then sustainability, productivity, and then just honestly, the way Kongsberg can help customers grow their business, new application. Creativity is probably one of the most important things now. And on our machines, with things like the vari-angle tools, you can cut at any angle on the fly, not stopping, then that means that people can build 3D structures, like these chairs that we're sitting in, for example. And that is something that a lot of our users are looking to say, okay, I might be doing retail displays, but those retail displays might be coming 3D retail displays made from corrugated. I need to be more creative, and things like vari-angle tools help that happen.
So very much, merchandising and brand launches, etc.
Exactly. I go in customers and you see a big brand, for example, a big brand drinks company, and they're designing and building new displays for shops. That's what they're doing, and they need that creativity to get it built absolutely to the quality that they want to deliver.
And when we look at Drupa and FESPA, what's your gut feel in terms of the typical audience? Do you have a feeling that it's starting to move to more regional, or do you still think they're global platforms?
That's an interesting question, and I can't give you an answer yet. What we do know is we're looking really positively at Drupa and FESPA. We've invested in both shows. We're going with an expectation that we're going to do great business. Drupa, we increased what we thought was going to be our original stand size, we increased it.
Okay.
Because we think we think there's going to be really busy, we've got some great things to say, but also we're expecting the show to be busy. I'm off to Shanghai soon, I'm going over to one of the shows over there. It's going to be interesting to see how the regional shows are going to play out in the future and what the audiences will be like. But what we do know is Drupal will be a big show and we're really looking forward to it.
And my feeling is very much that Drupal has evolved. The last event pre-pandemic, some commentators said it was a digital Drupal. I actually said no, it was a digital packaging Drupal. It's been quite noticeable, the volume of true folding carton and corrugated converters, how they're using Drupal as the platform. So are you expecting to see a lot of corrugated and carton people there?
Yeah, we are. We're expecting a lot of our customers to be there. They're corrugated and carton. The work they are doing, corrugated users aren't in one market sector anymore. They're not just packaging, they're display printers, they're lots of things.
Yeah.
They're stuff like this, architecture, whatever. And that material, its growth is moving and changing, and that means that different people come to the shows in future. We expect a lot of corrugated converters at Drupal.
Well, David, thank you so much indeed for joining me today. It's been absolutely fascinating hearing all the updates on Ultimate, and for those of you who are interested in seeing the FESPA and the Drupal event, make sure you look out the guys at Kongsberg.